Dear Baba everyone, on behalf of Avatar Meher Baba Bombay Center and Sam Uncle, I welcome you all to the Thursday evening program. Sam Uncle is joining soon. Once he joins, we'll start with a small prayer. Is joining now. Thank you. Jai Meher Baba Sam Uncle.
Jai Meher Baba, Janice.
Jai Baba.
We have
Made it. Yeah.
our speakers have joined.
Jai Baba Sam Uncle.
Who's that?
Kaustub.
Knows me as always.
Who's Kaustub?
Just some random guy who has randomly joined. Don't worry.
साले ब्लेड नहीं मिलती है दाढ़ी बनाने को और गर्लफ्रेंड ढूंढने निकला है. जा बाबा जा तू जा.
आइसोलेशन में कोविड हुआ है मेरे को. 1 महीने से मैं खुद मेरे घर के बाहर नहीं गया.
चल ठीक है, पहले मैं ये Xerxes को मिल लेता हूँ. देख वो कैसे बैठा है. See the difference in the behavior. See, देखो जरा.
Sorry.
जय बाबा Xerxes.
जय बाबा Sam Uncle.
हाँ हमें लोग का अहमद गेला गाना करिए. So don't bother about all this. How are you?
I'm fine, Sam Uncle. How about you?
Nervous?
Anxious?
Anxious, yes, I guess. Coffee पी लेनी जरा.
I have next to me.
शाबाश. मजा लो.
Sam Uncle, sorry to interrupt. After the prayer, can I just introduce the housey event coming up on this Sunday? Just brief the participants on how to send in their tickets and everything. If okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Am I audible, Uncle? My voice is clear.
Not very.
जरा crack था.
Not very clear.
हाँ. जय बाबा
Now
राम.
is it clear?
Jai Meher Baba.
Yeah, now it is clear, Janice.
Okay. So my hands-free has some issue. I'll speak without it. If this is clear.
Okay.
जी.
अरे राम.
बोलो भाई.
Jai Baba Archana.
Jai Baba Sam, how are you?
I'm good. But I'll be happiest when the day you get a doggy, yeah?
Okay. Yeah, you'll be the first one to know.
I'll come and I'll come and meet him the first thing.
Sure.
अरे बाबा. रवि जरा एक चाय कॉफी देना प्लीज. बाबू कॉफी प्लीज. अरे बाबा. मैं दारू वाला जय बाबा. Okay, time. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you. And help us all to hold fast to Baba's Daman till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Beloved Baba, we have all joined together to think and remember you. So you please take over the rest of the program. I'm sorry, but every Thursday I keep bothering you and asking you to come and conduct this program for us. But then we are all very weak and we all have our own shortcomings. So we want a perfect one to run this program. It's all as per your wish anyway. So thank you for coming and joining us, Baba. To begin with, Janice has some announcements to be made. After she does that, I shall introduce our first speaker, Mr. Xerxes. So Janice, come on and do your thing. Go ahead, Janice. Thanks, sir.
Sorry, I was on mute. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Karen.
Okay. So I wanted to make an announcement about our next event coming up this Sunday. That is Winning His Heart Babaful Housey. And it will be conducted in the evening, 5:30 p.m. onwards. Also, the details about how to make a ticket and everything is shared via the WhatsApp messages, and I'll share it here as well. Sorry. So there are around 40 words, and out of these 40 words, you have to prepare your own ticket. You have to create a box which will be 5 columns and 4 rows, kind of a grid. In that, you have to pick out of these 40 words given to you, as you see on the screen, aspirant, Avtari period. So these are the 40 words from Baba's disposal. Now, you have to pick any 20 words that resonate with you. For instance, the word resonates with me is meditation. So I would pick up accordingly. I would pick up all 20 words that resonate with me, and I'll prepare this kind of a ticket that you see on the screen. Please mention your name on the left top corner of the screen and email this ticket to us. Today is actually, we had given us the last day, but we can accept it even after that. So please email your ticket a clear image where everything is clearly visible, or to victoryuntothee@gmail.com, and it has to come in as soon as possible. So Cyrus Kambata uncle is going to host this, and the people in charge are Darius, Danish, and Sajeev from Bombay Center. So also Archana ji or me or Meherveena, anybody you need to contact for further details, you can always message or contact us. I'll leave my number in the chat, and if anybody has any questions, can revert to me later, so that we don't delay this program just now. Okay? Thank you very much. Jai Mehra. Over to
Thank you, Janice. Now it's time to introduce Mr. Xerxes Phiroze Kutar. He is from Bombay basically, but right now he is residing in US. He came to Baba in December 2006 and has been a Baba lover since. His dad had met Baba when he was 9 years old, the father, and was reintroduced to Baba by a Reiki master many years later. Now, all this is very sketchy, so if you want to get the exact image, you'll have to listen to Mr. Xerxes himself. So I hand over and let Baba take over and speak through Xerxes. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, Samankar. I'm sharing my screen. Can
Yeah,
everyone see? And I'm
yeah,
audible as well, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So yesterday I was speaking to a wise person and he gave me a quote from Baba, which I'm going to use before I start this session, which says that when you leave everything to Baba, and this is when Baba says, when you leave everything to me, I dare not, care not. So I'm going to leave everything to Baba as I begin this. And that wise person was our very own Samankar yesterday when I was speaking with him.
I was just going to ask her who was that idiot who told you this. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to narrate my journey with Meher Baba with a series of slides that I've put in and obviously with stories that I'm going to share corresponding to them. As Samankar said, my dad had met Meher Baba when he was 9 years old. Uh, it wasn't the kind of meeting that you would expect where, you've heard a lot of people who are kind of been with Baba or have lived with Baba. But it was in Navsari where my dad resided. And it was in one of the buildings in where we used to stay, where Baba was giving his darshan. And Dad remembers that, because Baba would give prasad, there would be like one entry and one exit, right? People would come in and go out. And since he was a kid and other friends of his, they would go in several times because Baba was handing out sweets or chocolates and all that. And he remembers Baba kind of, tapping them on the head or on the back or even on the, if I can say, bum, right? And that was his only recollection of Baba. Growing up, there was nothing, no mention of Baba whatsoever in our house till because Dad was having a lot of health problems. He was undergoing Reiki. He became a Reiki master himself in life, but the Reiki teacher was a Baba lover, and she kind of reintroduced Dad to Baba. Now, Dad several times, right, he would mention Meher Baba, right? I vividly remember he telling me that, hey, Meher Baba is a Parsi priest. And he'd been to the center several times. He's met Jimmy Khan and I'm sure you, Sam, and others also. And he kept mentioning it. And I don't know whether it was my time or it wasn't my time. I didn't give it much importance. I remember he bought books from the center. I remember the Discourses book. I mean, I saw the cover. I never kind of opened it or read it. In 2006 or in 2007, he was going to undergo hip replacement surgery. And that was a big surgery. And he's undergone many surgeries before that. So I think for the first time, he was nervous and he kind of wanted to visit the Samadhi. And without anybody with him, he would not have been able to. So he kind of asked me whether I would come with him. And I said, sure, I would come. Again, even though in 2006 Google existed, I never Googled Meher Baba, never read anything, nothing whatsoever. I just said, okay, I will come. Now, he couldn't do the journey from Mumbai to Mehrabad because that's, I think, 7 hours one way. And there's no way he could have sat in the car for 7 hours. So he used to go to Pune and stay in a dharamshala. So he was already there. And one day I took leave for a few days and I kind of was going to join him. And from Pune, we were going to go to the Samadhi. And Pune to the Samadhi is, I think, about 3 hours or 3.5 hours, depending on the time you leave the house. So on 20th December 2006, we left for the Samadhi for the first time. And there were a lot of people at the Samadhi, but not like current times where, you would have to fight for a place to sit inside the Samadhi. So there was nobody sitting inside. And I remember the caretaker at the Samadhi gave Dad a chair. So Dad sat on the left side. I kind of sat on the ground on the right hand side. And there was something that drew me towards Baba at that point of time. I remember, and because the chair was not that comfortable, Dad kept telling me, chal, chal. Chal in Gujarati means, let's go, because I don't think he was comfortable. And I remember I kind of put my hand and said, thobo, thobo, right? Which means that, wait, I'm not yet done. At the end of it, obviously, I think it was about 45 minutes, we kind of got up and kind of left the Samadhi. Now, I wanted to take a photo of the Samadhi. I know, you can take a photo, you cannot take a photo, and there's a lot of, debates around that. But I wanted to take one, but I wasn't sure whether I could take one or not. So I walk out and there's this person, the caretaker, who kind of gives prasad, right? So, and between Dad and me, there were a few others also by that time who were kind of there in line. And I saw that he was giving that orange sweet to, like one or two. When I came, he kind of just opened a pouch and, he filled the whole pouch for me and said, you can take it home and, eat it for a few days. And then I was about to leave, and then he said, wait. And he kind of went to the cupboard, opened the cupboard door, and gave me a photo of Meher Baba. Now, I've never understood why he did that. And several times at the Samadhi, people have handed me photographs, right? And I felt extra special at that point of time, right, to get that photograph. And then I did ask around other friends and all, and none of them, at least to my knowledge, have received that photograph. So that was my first introduction, or the first time I saw Baba at the Samadhi, or I kind of visited the Samadhi, sorry. And over the next few years, there were a few times, 3 or 4 times, that I went with Dad. Again, it was at Pune, and then from Pune, and then back to Pune, and then back home. We visited Baba's house in Pune. We visited the Babajan Samadhi as well in Pune. And it wasn't till 2015, and I'll tell you how the whole dots got connected for me. So I had this desire to kind of go and stay at the MPR, right? Kind of stay there, right? Because I was just doing this one-day trip, or just a few hours trip, and then going back. And it so happened, one of my friends, I saw that on Facebook, she posted some photos of NPR, and I kind of reached out and I said, hey, are you a Baba lover? And I think she also kind of, at the spur of the moment, kind of got into a car. Her friend was going, and she kind of tagged along. So she then said, she narrated her story, and I said, I'm looking for, a way to connect, if there is any group or anything. And she pointed me towards Somit, who stays in Wadala, Somit. And she said there's a book reading and you can kind of go there. Now, I wasn't too sure because I didn't know Somit, but she gave me the address. She'd spoken with Somit, and I land over there in January of 2015. And on that day, there is actually a mandala workshop which was conducted by Carlet around Baba. And so that was in the morning, and then there was some few hours in between. And then in the evening was a book reading by Cyrus Uncle and Soumya Auntie. So I kind of go there not knowing what to expect. It turns out Somit was my school friend. Right? We both went to the same school for 10 years. And Somit helped me a lot in trying to, he probably spoke a lot about Meher Baba and, what I need to do. And he gave me the prayer books, and Somit kind of got me going over there. I remember in the afternoon, there was a period where we were supposed to do nothing. And Rakesh, that's the first time I met Rakesh. Rakesh goes by the name Divine Postman. I don't know whether he's changed his name now, or that's a very cool name that he had. So Rakesh at that time, I think ran a charity, or was doing a charity where they would take t-shirts, kind of put slogans of Baba on it, and then kind of hand it over to the kids at Marine Drive, the street kids. So I participated in that. I think my first, or my only t-shirt was where I wrote, "Don't worry, be happy" on it. I painted it in my own weird painting, right? And I was happy that I could kind of contributed towards that. In the evening, I met Cyrus Uncle for the first time, and I was blown away with his knowledge and everything. And since then, right, I've met Cyrus Uncle several times. I keep watching his discourses as well when he gives them online. I think he's probably an encyclopedia of Baba, or maybe, people go to Lord Mayor to see if there's something. I think Cyrus is probably a live Lord Mayor, or that's my way of saying how I.
That's true. He's my guru.
And so over there, I kept hearing this word Amar Tithi, right? And everybody was like, "Hey, are you coming to Amar Tithi? Are you coming to Amar Tithi?" Because obviously everybody was there, for a long time, the whole group. So I was kind of curious. So I asked Somit about Amar Tithi, and kind of Somit explained that, what it is, and Baba dropping his body, and then, the next few days, how Amar Tithi is. So I decided to go for Amar Tithi, right? Again, I didn't Google, nothing. I just showed up over there. I show up at 9 o'clock on, I think it was 31st. Yeah, 31st. And I show up at 9 o'clock. There's a huge crowd, right? And whenever I used to go, my first focus was I need to take darshan. And then I realized that, there's a number system, and you got to take it in December or something for January. But I heard the announcer say that there are tokens available. So I stood in line over there, right? And I got a number, and I was like, oh, this looks like pretty quick, right? That pretty quick was actually 9 hours later, right? That number actually came, because I realized that every number had 500 people given that number, right? It kind of went on and on. And then I got darshan, right? I think which was less than probably 9 seconds, right? They kind of pull you out quickly, right? Kind of, because obviously they need the queue to kind of keep going. But and this, probably let me move to the next slide. So, okay, sorry, I should have moved earlier. This was my journey beginning. So these are my Amar Tithi. I was there in 2015, and that's the 9-hour wait. In 2017, I became smarter, so the wait wasn't that much. And then 2019, again, I visited the Samadhi, visited Amar Tithi. The best moment of Amar Tithi is the silence, right? The 15 minutes of silence. And I've put a quote of Baba below, which reminds me of silence. And before that 15 minutes, I think the best song about Meher Baba for me is the Meher Dhun. I've never heard anything more melodious or more powerful, right? And the way it starts slowly and then it builds momentum, and then at one point of time, everybody, and there's one person who shouts "Avatar Meher Baba ki jai," and then there's silence, right? So you can imagine thousands of people chanting that, and then pin drop silence, and that's something extra special. It kind of consumes you from within, and every time I've experienced it, or the 3 times I've experienced it, and I always had this in my mind that every 2 years Baba calls me there, and I was absolutely sure in 2021 I will be for Amar Tithi, but I guess Amar Tithi wasn't there in 2021. Who knows? Maybe 2022 would be the time again for Amar Tithi. That's my experience around Amar Tithi. Now, going to the Baba book reading meetings, obviously I got to know more about Jimmy Khan, and hey, Jimmy Khan is taking a tour, and so I got a WhatsApp message that in July Jimmy Khan is taking two tours. One is of 3 days and one is of 5 days. So I kind of hopped on to the 5-day one. I'm like, it's my first chance to stay at MPR. I might as well take more time and stay over there. So I remember there were 2 buses from Dadar. They started from, I think, probably Churchgate or whatever. And Jimmy Khan, I think, at probably an hour into the journey, got up, took a mic, and said, "Tomorrow is Silence Day." And I was like, I don't know what Silence Day is. So I had Manek auntie who was sitting next to me, and she saw my confused look. She kind of explained to me that, hey, this is the day that we observe silence, right? Nobody speaks a word and kind of talk in actions, or you write down stuff and all that. It was an interesting experience for me to see silence everywhere over there. Since 2015, I've observed silence every July 10th. Right? If it doesn't fall on a Saturday or Sunday, I've taken leave and kind of observed silence. Now, after that also, I think on that day, I think Jimmy uncle and Sam uncle, and I think I remember Mernosh was there. In the night, everybody gathers and you can ask questions. I think probably I asked too many questions that day. The next day was Silence Day, so there was no gathering. But the day after, Jimmy uncle very smartly said, Xerxes will come and sit next to me and answer any questions which I cannot answer. So he kind of stopped me from asking any further questions. And speaking about Jimmy uncle, I think there are only 2 people that I've come in contact with, and I'm sure there are others. Jimmy uncle is one of them, and the other is Tom Riley, who is resides in the Myrtle Beach, in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I've heard both of them speak, and I've seen glimpses of Baba actually talking. I've actually felt Baba talking through them, right? And maybe because they've met Baba, several times. I think both of them have had the opportunity to meet Baba one-on-one alone also. I've listened to their discourses or their talks as they have given. But both of them I've felt. And this is something very, it's because I've longed to see Baba in the physical form, right? Never got an opportunity to do that. So I think these are the 2 people whom I've always enjoyed listening to them, right? Whether it's in person or on any of these forums. So that was about Silence Day. And most of my stories now going forward are going to be around Baba's timing, right? And in my experience, Baba has either done things which are in an instant for me, or they've taken time, but it's always that Baba has answered, right? If you've really kind of reached out to him. right? And also we got to be careful what we reach out to him also. And I've got some example of that as well when we ask him for something in particular. So when I stayed on Silence Day, right, I wanted to stay in a single room, right? I mean, the thought of sharing a room wasn't kind of too much. I didn't like that idea. And I remember everybody was given keys and I was like the second last person. And I was thinking, there's no way I'm getting a single room. But I did get one, right? I went again in September, I got a single room. Every time I went to the Meher Baba Center in US, every time I got a single room, right? So I think my ego was inflated, or I was like, hey, Baba, I'm special for Baba, right? Single room. And I've got one of the best cabins at the center in US. And till in December, right? And I called up the mayor center, and it's a normal routine, right? I call them up and say that, hey, I'm going to come on this date, I'm going to go on that date. They ask me my name, I say I'm Xerxes. They say which flight, I say this is the flight. When they ask me, do you need a pickup? I say, yes, I need a pickup because, and Philip is the one, he's a wonderful person who kind of drives me to and fro and takes me to the grocery shop, because once I go to the center, I only come out at the end of my stay over there. And then they ask, every time even though most of them know me, they ask me, what do you look like, right? And I say, I look like Tom Cruise. And they say, okay. Right? I think one lady once said Tom Cruise, and I kind of told her on the phone, yeah, with a little bit less hair on top, right? Kind of. But so, and then they say that, hey, this time the center is full because I think there is some lottery system or some lot's draw that they do. I wasn't aware of that. So, and she said, I can put you down on, in the waiting list. And I was absolutely certain that, I would get through. So I said, sure. And then I asked her, I said, what is my number on the waiting list? And she said, you're the first person, right? And I was like, okay, somebody will cancel, I will get through. And then she says, you're the first person on the 4th page. Okay. And I was like, okay, that doesn't sound good, but I was absolutely certain that, Baba will take care of me. And they told me to call a day before, but also told me to book a hotel nearby, right? Just in case. So I'd book the hotel and I would cancel it, right? If I got through. The day before I called them, they said it doesn't look likely. And I was still like, the day I land, Baba will kind of, make that way for me. Baba didn't, right? I land over there, I have to stay in the hotel. And though I got to visit the center, right, from 9 in the morning to 5, you've got to vacate if you're a visitor. Something always kind of, it was eating me from inside. Right? I thought there was something wrong that I have done, right? That Baba has all of a sudden decided that, I'm no longer welcome in his center, right? And he called that place his home. And that was always there on the back of my mind. I thoroughly enjoyed my 5 days that I was there, right? The New Year, everything I enjoyed over there. Now, New Year that year was on a Sunday. And typically when I go to the Myrtle Beach, I choose a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because those are the 3 days that the Baba house is open, right? The lagoon and barn are open all the time, but these are the only 3 days for 2 hours each. So I kind of want to spend maximum time over there in the house. So I'd selected that, and I had a flight late in the evening. So I was like, okay, I can do Sunday. So I go in there, and at 1, they have a small bell which rings, which says that, okay, you got to now vacate, right? Because they're going to close down. And I remember touching Baba's bed, and I told him sorry, right, if I had done anything to kind of upset him. And I came out, and I'm kind of sitting and tying my shoelaces outside at the porch, in the porch area. And then this volunteer, there are a group of Baba lovers who volunteer, right? And I think every time there are 2 of them who kind of volunteer in the house. So he comes out with a vase, right, from Baba's cabin, and he says that, I need someone to take this vase to the lagoon cabin, right? And for a second, I thought, hey, this is my moment, right? I can do that. And then he adds saying that anybody who's staying at the center. And I was like, okay, Baba now again doesn't want me to kind of do that. And then Mernosh, who was standing near him, right, kind of points towards me and says, hey, Xerxes can take it, right? And I jumped at that opportunity. Right. So within an instant, probably, and that was the best journey that I ever walked at the center, even till date, right? Carrying that vase from Baba's bedroom next to his bed till the lagoon cabin and actually putting it in the lagoon cabin. So this is the photo, right? This is me holding the vase and kind of walking through. I had to be very careful while taking the photo because I was holding it with actually two hands. I was overjoyed at that moment, right? I was singing the Meher Dhun. I was saying Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Now the Meher Spiritual Center is a place for silence, solitude. You cannot talk much. You're supposed to, people come to meditate. And I thought to myself, right, I'm kind of breaching all those rules, but I'm saying Baba's name only in his center, right? So, if somebody scolds me, it's fine. Nobody came or nobody said anything. The picture on the right is the lagoon cabin where you see the same flowers, or the same flower was being kind of put over there. So again, Baba in an instant, removed all doubts I had, right? Thinking that maybe I've done something wrong, or he doesn't like me anymore, or, he doesn't love me anymore. Since then, there have been two other instances where, I've not got a chance to stay, but I've never felt that, maybe there's something missing or something else I should have done at that point of time. That's my second story. The third one is whenever I was in groups, right, listening to people share, people used to talk about the energy at Baba's Samadhi, right? And I never had such experience. I remember people saying that they felt something through their bodies and they felt this and that. And I always thought that maybe I'm not, I don't know, good enough or whatever. Or maybe I'm not at that level to experience that energy intake. Now, before I was to come over here, right, I had actually registered for another Jimmy Khan's tour that was in December. It was 12th and 13th December, I remember. And I was going to visit, and then that weekend I was going to fly here because I wasn't sure when I would come back next or how soon I could be back. And it so happened that I kind of fell down in office. I kind of missed a step and, I twisted my ankle very badly. And I went to the ortho and he kind of asked me to put my leg up and gave me meds and all. And I felt better. I went to office and the pain started again. So I went back to him and he said that I will have to put it on a cast. Now I wasn't mentally prepared for a cast. So I kind of told him that, no, I have to, go with Jimmy uncle. And he said, you cannot. And I said, I will just kind of be in the bus and go to the Samadhi and just back. And he said, no, there is no way you can go. So I had to cancel the trip. I had to postpone my flight as well over here to US. But I wanted to visit Baba once before I kind of come here. So once the cast was removed and the pain was still there, but I got better. I could walk, like uncomfortably, but at least I could walk. I decided to take a day trip. So it was December. I come down. There are a lot of people at that point of time, right? This is December 2015. I think it was probably Mehra's birthday. So there were many people over there at that point of time. I didn't realize it was Mehra's birthday till I came there and I knew that it was Mehra's birthday. And I remember that on the left-hand side, 3 people were sitting. On the right-hand side, there were 2 sitting and there was a middle seat empty. And I sat over there, right? I sat for about 40, 45 minutes. I was happy. And when I came out, and I don't know whether it's a Parsi thing or an Indian thing, we put our right leg, right? When we enter anything, right? So I put my right leg out and my left leg was the one which, left ankle was the one which was injured. And when I put my left ankle outside the Samadhi, the pain started again. And then I realized that I was sitting cross-legged on the floor, which I can't do even now, with that pain. And for 45 or 40 minutes, I didn't encounter a single thing. And I was sitting in between 2 people, right? So you don't normally touch anyone, right? At the Samadhi, or you don't touch the wall. So there's no support or anything. And that was probably Baba explaining to me that the energy that was probably there at that Samadhi at that point of time. And that was the answer that I got. I never questioned Baba since then about, hey, what is it about the energy and why am I not feeling that energy? The next story was, this was in 2018. So I was there, I visited the Samadhi, I came back over here. In 4 days, my dad was hospitalized. And the first few days were very concerning because multiple organs were failing, right? The doctors were kind of trying to triage, right? They said, okay, prostate, we'll look at it later, right? Right now, focus on this, that. There was a period where I asked my sister whether, ask the doctor, and it was Udvaria at Breach Candy, right? Should I come down again, right? And they said, oh, let this one value come, right, of a report. If that value is kind of scary, then he has to come back. And fortunately, I never had to. And but for 15 days we were not sure, because Dad was we were not sure whether he lost his mind, or because he kept saying some different things. But we later got to know that it's probably the drugs that were kind of given to him, the medicines, right, which is causing those hallucinations or whatever. And many weeks, and he was in the hospital for almost 3 months. But many weeks later, he had a habit of kind of looking at a wall, right, on the right hand side. And this again, my sister narrated. So one day she asked him, I said, what are you staring that at? And he said that he saw Baba on that wall. Okay. Now this story, and probably there's another story. So both these times, right? And I think only Baba can do it, right? I experienced two different emotions at the identical same time. I was very, very happy to know that he saw Baba. And my immediate thought was, I need to find out that photo, right? I need to understand which photo it is, right? At the second time, and I think nobody knows that probably now, they will listen to it and come to know. I was very, very scared, because I had heard several people sharing their stories that when they were sick and they saw Baba, they passed away peacefully after that. Whether they saw Baba, they saw a light in Baba, or somebody else saw Baba. So I was very excited, but then at the same time very concerned that, what's going to happen to that. But I was on a mission to find out what that photo is. So and then I asked Dad. So Dad said that it's Baba sitting on a chair, but the chair is kind of taller than Baba, right? So kind of the chair kind of covers Baba. And I started, Google. I went to Facebook groups. I went asking people. I got some photos. I would send it to Dad. Dad would send me, right, which means no. And I kept on. Then it was July, right? And Silence Days, I was going to the Myrtle Beach, and Philip, who drives me, I told him in the car once I got down to the airport. And he said, yeah, I know. I think I know 2 photos, and one of them is for your dad. So I was very happy. We both reached the center. We both go to the Lagoon Cabin. There are these 2 big books full of Baba photos. And he goes through the photos. He says, this one and this one. I take photos. I send it back home. Dad says no. At the center, I'm in the Dilruba library. I've never been to so many books of Baba, trying to find that one photo which Dad would say yes. Dad kept saying no, no, no. And as time passed by, I was kind of getting frustrated also, right? That I went not find that photo of Baba. And I remember Preeti at the center, she said that you are actually on a real treasure hunt, right? Because you're trying to find something. I went to the Sherial bookstore. I normally visit it because I buy a lot of books and, posters of Baba, photos of Baba also. And Sheila over there kind of searched also. She spent half an hour searching with me. Then she gave me a few more websites. I kind of searched. Again, every time I did that, Dad would say no. And then I came back to India in August. This was after, so that I could spend some time with him and spend like Parsi New Year with him. And now I'm kind of getting desperate, right? So I thought I would probably try to convince Dad that one of these photos is what he actually saw, right? So I'm like, Dad, nice photos here, right? You, whatever job, right? This is the photo. You see properly, right? Why are you saying no? And he kept saying no. It's like he nodded his head. And then one day, finally, right? And this was a second instance, right? I get a photo. I show it to Dad, and Dad says, yes, this is the photo. I'm, again, excited beyond words, and I'm angry beyond words also, right? At the same time, again, this is the second instance that Baba kind of evoked both those reactions in me simultaneously. Excited that I'd found the photo, right? And very angry, and I didn't tell Dad that, but because this was a photo of Baba sitting on a chair in the Meher Spiritual Center in the barn in Myrtle Beach, right? And so this is the photo on the left which Dad saw of Baba. And the photo on the top is one of the hundreds of photos I would have sent to Dad every time I visited, the barn at Myrtle Beach. And I'm like, you couldn't recognize that this was the same chair kind of thing, right? And he quietly tells me, but there was no Baba sitting when you took the photo, right? So I couldn't figure out that it was the same chair. So this photo has special meaning for me. This is the barn which I've put at the ground, and the tree that is there in the center is a tree that actually Baba sat against on the ground and would give her darshan, or I think it was a darshan probably. So, and obviously this place has become extra special for me because that chair I've bowed my head down multiple times every time I've been there. So again, in an instant, kind of Baba gave or answered that question. The next one is, again, so one point I want to talk about is you got to be careful what you wish for. And I'll give an example. So I was at the Myrtle Beach and I was sitting in the lake house. And there was a gentleman there and we got talking, and he was narrating how he came to Baba. I was telling him how I came to Baba. And he told me the story about a turtle actually walking up the steps towards the lagoon cabin to listen to Baba. He'd read it somewhere, right? And I said, turtle? I said, I've never seen a turtle over here. I've been here several times. Right? And he says, oh, there are several of them over here. And within a few minutes, I see a turtle in the water over there, right? And since then, I've seen turtles every time I've been there, right? So that thought and kind of, it became a reality. The point to be careful about was I kept hearing a lot of people talk about snakes. I saw this snake yesterday when I was walking here, I was walking there. And I wondered, right, that, hey, Baba, I've never seen a snake over here. The next day I see a snake on my pathway. It's a dead snake, but it was enough for me to tell Baba that I don't want to see any live snakes anymore, right? I'm good right now, right? Don't show me any live snakes. Because when he was narrating the story of the turtle, I said, I've seen alligators over here at the center. So I'm very close by also, but I've never seen kind of a turtle. The other one was, there is a mall outside and I'd gone to collect some food from there. And while I was walking the mall, there is a circle of friends. And I didn't know that, at that time, I didn't know that there was a circle of friends. This is run by Angela, which I got to know much later, right? And all the Zoom meetings that we've been having all over the globe. And the photo of Baba, which I saw inside, it was a big photo of Baba. And I thought that I should have that photo in my house. 7 minutes later, I'm at the Sheriar bookstore. I enter, and that same photo is on a discount lying over there. Like the first thing I see is that photo. Right. So again, Baba, like within an instant, has kind of whatever I've wished for is kind of given. But you got to be again careful what you wish for. The next story that I have is around. Again, this is Dad. The same time that he was in the hospital. Right. So when I land over there for Silence Day, I was given the lookout cabin. It's one of the best cabins actually at the center. It's a separate cabin. It's a separate shower, everything inside. And the best part is when you get up from bed, you can see the lagoon cabin just across. Right. So I was thrilled. Like, and they told me 3 days, and then the other 2 days I have to go to another cabin. I was like, fine. Now, when I woke up the next day, I kind of thought that maybe I could, show through video. And Dad was still very weak, right? So he could barely open his eyes. But with Sis' help, I could kind of show him the lagoon cabin, and he prayed. And then it struck me that, I should, show him the photo of the front porch of Baba's house, right? Because he'd seen Baba, right? He'd seen the photo of, at that time, I didn't know what the image of Baba was. I didn't even know that it was the barn or whatever. So I planned that, next day morning, right? It opens at 9, but it will open much earlier because they do the cleaning of the outside compound and inside also, right? I think the caretakers. So I told Sis that I will go there and I'll do a quick video call. Dad would probably have finished his dinner by then. And so I rushed there in the morning. And when I reached there, I see that the door is locked from outside. Now I don't understand because it's about 8:30. And the door should have been open because I've been in that compound several times before also, right? Waiting my turn. So when the Baba's house actually opens, I'm the first to kind of go in. And then I realized that it was actually a Sunday and Baba's house opens 2 hours later. And that kind of probably crushed me because I should have been more mindful of that. So I tell my sister that, I will hold the phone as high as I can, right? Maybe Dad can see the roof or something of the house, right? And pray. And there was this bench outside, right? So I was kind of sitting very dejected, like thinking that, hey, this is right. I missed this opportunity. And so I'm sitting over there, and at the center, right, there are huge trails, right? And there's a lot of obviously leaves and everything. So you can hear anybody who is walking, right? Even if they're walking ahead or walking behind, right? You can hear that. And I don't hear anybody walking, right? But all of a sudden this person pops up, right before my eyes, right? As if like I didn't see him coming or I didn't hear him also. And I say, Jai Baba, he says, Jai Baba, he kind of moves on. And then he stops near the front gate, right? And he takes out a key from his pocket and opens that lock, right? So within an instant, Baba took care of that also. So the door opens, I rush in. I remember Dad for, I think, at least 20 or 25 seconds only with eyes open, closed, was able to take that darshan of, the forge. So again, Baba, with his timing, kind of, got that done for me. The another example of Baba's timing, which happened over there only, I always wanted to give back something at the center, right? And to do some work, right? As a volunteer or whatever. Now, I can't do that in my day-to-day life because that's like a few hundred miles from where I stay. So I'd asked around, and every time I was there, and I think somebody would say, do you know how to repair a fridge? Right? And in my mind, I thought I can look at some YouTube videos, but I don't think you want me to repair your fridge like that. So I would tell them, right, give me some opportunity to clean something, right? Whatever, Baba's house or lagoon or whatever, I can kind of help with that. But never got an answer. Go here, go there, ask this, ask that. And so once I finished that call with Dad, I kind of try to find that person, right, to thank him because he has no idea. He still had no idea what he had done for me at that point of time, right? So he's at the back of the house, and I find him, right, and I thank him, and he says, no problem. And then I say, is there any way I could help you over here? And he says that, you can help me by raking, right, leaves. And I'd never done that in my life. So I asked him, can you teach me how to rake? So he teaches me how to rake. And then for the next 40 minutes from the entrance, so this is the entrance of Baba house, and this is the actual Baba house and the statement below is what Baba said, right? I never leave. Remember, I do not leave because this is my home. And you feel his presence in that house. So from the gate till the house, till the footsteps, and then a little bit around, I kind of rake the whole thing. So again, in an instant, Baba kind of took care of that wish of mine, which was there for a long, long, long time. So in my experiences, we have to trust his timing, right? He knows when the time is right for us, right? I mean, we might get, impatient or say that, oh, it's not happening. I don't want it to happen in my way. But things happen as the way he wants it. And I think that's where he always says that, hold on to my daman. Right? And that's also a very key thing that Baba has kind of given. There's one more, I think it's I would say a story which I don't know what and how, but I'll explain it. So I'm in September, and this is before I came here. I'm at the Samadhi, and we were in 4 cars. Right? And the uncle who was driving was also Baba lover. I was tying my shoelace on a bench just outside the Samadhi, right, after I've got my shoes. And he points towards Jal, the stool, right? And he says, this is Jal uncle. Do you know him? I said, I don't know him. And he says that, every time he finds somebody, a new face, he takes them to his office and he kind of gives a pouch which has like a brooch and a pin or a Baba prayer or something. And I'm excited, right? I'm like, hey, notice me. Obviously, Jal uncle doesn't notice me, right? And that ends over there, right? Never thought about it. But 2 years later, I was back over there, right? And I'm near the Samadhi, and Jal uncle points towards me and says, hey, why don't, after you finish your darshan, come over, to my office. So I go over to his office after the darshan. And he gives me that, right? So again, that timing was probably, that was the timing. And I thank him. And as I'm turning, so he says, wait. And he gives me, so it's a flat kind of, which has multiple photos of Baba, right? And I take that, right? And he says that if you kind of fold it properly, it's a box, right? And he tells me that, keep this box, and anytime you, again, he doesn't even know my name, or he just knew my name, right? Anytime you have any issue, problem, anything in life, take a pen and paper, write a chit, and say, Baba, I'm giving this to you. And you put that in, and you stop worrying, because that's Baba's responsibility now. Now, I was going through a lot at that point of time. He had no way of ever knowing, right? Or nobody had. Very few people knew what I was undergoing at that point of time. Since then, my box is pretty full. I would say at least 60 to 70% full, which it's every time I've done that, either Baba has shown me the way or shown me another way out of it, right? Or it's taken time, but I've got a response. I have no words to explain what that is, but and it's on my altar over here. I actually should have taken a photograph to kind of put that, but that's something I cannot explain. I don't want to explain also, but this is something I've used with me, with my family, with my friends, with people whom I've come to know are kind of struggling or whatever, and I've kind of put that over there in that box. So I think this is the end. Now, one of the things that's always on my mind, and I think Baba always said is, or for me, it's how do I spread Baba's word? And Baba always said that, take my word, to have my word at people's, I'm trying to try to think out loud, right? Have my words to somebody's ear, and from ear to the heart is my doing or something. So I wanted to create a website where I could so the website is below, right? Now I couldn't find .com, .org, most of them were taken. And then I thought that we are all a Baba family. So the website is avatarmeherbaba.family, right? That's my way of spreading his word to the world, right? I mean, and if there's any feedback or you can check it out. There's a link to my email address, and if anybody wants anything different, it's a static website. It's not very, but this is the few pages that I've created are my way of sharing what Baba is. A lot of times when I'm talking and somebody says, who is Meher Baba? I say, okay, go here and try to find out, or Google Meher Baba and try to find out. And I think and I think I'm right on time, 45 minutes. I would like to end with, again, thanking Baba for it. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Xerxes, this is Jimmy Khan, Jimmy Uncle.
Hello, Jimmy Uncle.
Hi. Xerxes, one thing you didn't touch upon, namely your mom and your sister vis-a-vis Meher Baba. Anything you want to talk about?
Okay. So, sister also came to Baba much later. So every time I've come down again at the Samadhi, right? And I make it a point each and every time to, whenever I come down, I make it a point to visit. If I can stay there, nothing like it, but at least I do a one-day trip. And sister has kind of joined me every time since then. And I think it was a few years later that sister also kind of came to Baba. And Jimmy Uncle, and probably since you mentioned, I remember one thing, right? So every time I would go to the Samadhi, I had a Facebook post which I would say, whenever he calls, he as in Baba in capital letters, it's time to pack your bags and go. And I think Jimmy Khan, I think very probably smartly wrote or saying that you should always keep your bags ready so you can go immediately, right? Don't pack your bags also at that point of time. So I think Jimmy Uncle, that kind of has struck with me. With respect to my mother, I can say that she's I wouldn't call her a Baba lover. She would be called as a Baba learner. I don't know if that's a term or something. But my sister definitely, yes, she's a Baba lover. I think she's there today as well in this meeting.
Xerxes, I think you introduced me in the dining room, MPR dining room. Am I right?
I'm sorry?
You introduced me to your sister in MPR dining room.
Yes, exactly,
Correct?
exactly, yes.
Right.
Yes. That was a time, yes. That was a time when dad was in the hospital and we got a chance. So yes, and sister, yes, we met in the dining room. That is correct, Jimmy Uncle.
Yeah, okay.
Hi, Jimmy Uncle. I'm very much there.
Okay, hi, Jai Baba.
Hi, how are you, Jai Baba? How are you?
All well, thank you. All well.
Yeah.
Xerxes,
Yes, Uncle.
Baba, what can I say? I'm kind of dumbfounded because you came across as a person who keeps Baba with him, or Baba keeps you with him all the time. All the time. And you keep saying, you keep seeing his little here and there all the time. So, does anyone have any questions for Xerxes? Please go ahead and ask. Because this man is very well read for sure, because he's always been buying books from the center and from the bookstalls and everywhere.
Some don't ask me questions pertaining to Baba. I'm not that well read. I remember when I won the
Okay.
Housey,
No, what
the Housey last time.
I stand corrected. Questions about whatever he has spoken just now, his personal this thing. Anybody wants to know a little more, please go ahead and ask. Nobody wants to. Everybody is very happy with what you said.
Thank you very much, Samankar, for the opportunity.
Are Baba, let me remind you once again, he dare not, care not. See how time flew?
Yeah, I was worried that I would have like 15 minutes or something only to probably talk about.
So this is what happens when he takes over. Xerxes, I thank you ever so much for joining us, taking your time out. I believe this is your working hours and you still requested them to give you this slot to attend this. What can I say to a person who is so close to Baba? What can I say? All I can say is Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. And thanks to Janice also for helping.
Yes. I think
Only to Baba. Thank you so much.
Janice is a friend of your, a relative of a friend of yours or something also. There's some connection there too.
That is correct.
Right. So, Xerxes, my friend, take good care of yourself. Look after yourself. And one thing I've learned from you is when you have that problem, put one slip in that box. I shall try and do that. I met Jal so many times, but he's never given me that box kind of a thing. But it's all Baba's timing and Baba's wish. Who should do what and how. Do us a favor next time when you're in Bombay and things clear out, do drop by, and because we'd love to meet you at the center. And until then, cling on to his daman with both your hands. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Okay, Mr. Kaustub, where have you disappeared?
Sorry.
Baba. Now, should I introduce you or what?
You can do like
Huh?
you can say whatever you want.
Say whatever I want. You're the biggest Mawali on this earth.
I'm not. I would say that my mother and father have gone.
Oh, they're here. अरे sorry. ये तेरे इज्जत का फालूदा हो गया. Folks, this is Kaustub, and why I'm talking so freely with him is because I'm very, very fond of him. I'm very fond of him. He is called Kaustub Shete from Yavatmal, and he is a computer genius, you can call it. And I've known him through our center because he used to come down and act in our plays. His biggest specialty was arriving late. And it came to a point where the troupe wanted to throw him out, not have him participate in the plays. And being a great actor that he is, उसने ऐसी एक्टिंग की कि मैं बिल्कुल फिसल गया. And I took him and to the person and I said, इसको ले लो ये वो. So that's how he has been doing wonderfully well till couple of months back is what he told me just last night. Couple of months back, he's done this big mistake. He has gone and found himself a girlfriend. अभी वो बेचारा सुखी आदमी दुखी बन जाएगा, I'm sure. But I'm very, very happy for him. I'm extremely happy for him. Unfortunately, the girl stays in Nagpur and our friend is in Yavatmal and वो सब गोलमाल करते रहता है. But that is neither here nor there.
So I will just take it off from here.
Yeah.
I think so. Like, mera bhi prepared.
But now speak softly, clearly, and loudly.
Yeah. So that is what. Like, is my audio like completely clear? Like,
Yeah. Okay.
or is it because I'm having connection issues at my end? So if I drop
नहीं,
out in middle.
You're okay. You're okay. चल बोल अभी शुरू कर. ज़्यादा लफड़ा मत कर.
So अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. So this is me, Kaustub, and I'm currently a final year student in Mumbai. Fortunately enough, I have been able to know more about Baba, and I have been fortunate enough to get born into a Baba lover family. So just some basic information about me. I'm just a 21-year-old trying to share his experience. So I might not be that, like my experience might not be that fond or that awareable. So please bear with me. I tend to have a personality where I'm very easily misunderstood. So if you think that something is like disease, so please unmute and ask me that what do you exactly mean by that? Because I know I have a personality where I can be easily misunderstood. I'm currently pursuing computer science engineering at the Thakur College of Engineering, Mumbai. I'm in my final year, and next year I'll be preparing for my Master of Sciences in US, that is MS in US. I'm currently interning in a company in Bangalore for in NVIDIA. I have my professional interests in machine learning, deep learning, and AI. So basically, artificial intelligence, we see in movies that computers have their own brains. So that kind of technology I like to work upon. Currently, Sam Uncle, I'm working on a technology which I know you would daily use. That is recommendation system. Like if you buy or see one movie, then I would recommend you another movie through the software which I developed. So I'm working on those stuff. So yeah, this is me on the top of the Mehrazad hill. This was during my Savas. So without any further ado, I would like to move on and start sharing. So this is my small and sweet family, my mother, father, my sister, and myself. So I was, as I told that something I'm forget about. See, people who okay, so I think that being born into a family is like different at the same time easy.
Kaustub, your voice is breaking up, my friend.
Okay.
Hello, Kaustub.
Yeah.
I think Sam, tell him to switch off his video. It might work better.
Kaustub, switch off your video. Try switch off your video. Hello. तेरा वीडियो बंद कर दे.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, is my voice clear now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So yeah. This is my family. This is my personal opinion. You might not be like everything I'm going to say in this presentation, my own personal opinion, and I would like to have your insights on it, everyone. So if you want to talk more about something, you can just unmute yourself and ask me to tell me. Okay, so yeah, that is what I was going to say. Being born into Baba lover family is quite easy. Like, sorry, it is quite fortunate for you that you have to be really, really lucky. But at the same time, it is easy, as in a path to go to Baba. Because I see my story where I'm just born into a Baba lover family. It is really easy for me because I have grown up seeing Baba, grown up experiencing Baba. I have got so many opportunities to explore my relation with Baba since I was like a little kid of 3 to 4 years. But it is very easy when you get these many n number of opportunities. But on the contrary, when I meet so many people who are with Baba and those who have found Baba after many years living their life, so there are, so I think that is something which is really great, like challenging yourself, challenging your personalities, your thoughts, your own questions, and taking up to Baba everything which you have in mind when you are all grown up, when you can think, when you can analyze things and think things for yourself, and still you choose to select Baba, and still Baba has that like हैंड कि वो आपको ले ले अपने पास, वो बहुत अलग है. लाइक बाबा लवर बॉर्न फैमिली में बॉर्न होके आप एक बाबा लवर बन रहे हो, इट इज लाइक लाइफ का वो पाथ इजी हो जाता है बाबा को एक्सेप्ट करने का, ऐसे मुझे लगता है. बट अगर आप ऐसे किसी एक नॉन बाबा लवर फैमिली में इफ यू आर बॉर्न एंड it is really like wo stories, every story is unique in itself. So I have seen stories where Baba comes to people's dreams and then people start searching from to internet search. I have seen just like uski mom dad are not Baba lovers, okay, but uska he is just in neighboring, like there was a guy, he is so उसका घर बाबा सेंटर के बाजू में था. ठीक है, वो बाबा प्रेमी नहीं है, उन लोगों को बाबा प्रेमी का भजन वजन जो होता है उनसे बहुत तकलीफ होता है. सो नेचुरली ही लाइक उसके घर वाले यूज टू से मेनी थिंग्स अबाउट बाबा, द बैड थिंग्स. But that guy was never like, he never cared. But one thing he used to do was he used to like right from the age of 14 he used to go and he used to groom Baba ka center. ओके, नहीं तो अगर प्रसाद चालू हो तो बस गेम खेल रहे हैं, प्रसाद चालू है तो बच्चे चले गए सब प्रसाद खाने ऐसे. सो आई एंड फिर वहां से एंड व्हेन ही ग्रू अप ही वाज 18 and 19 and then so there are many ways while people who are not born into a Baba lover family have fantastic stories and give so many insights when we are connected to like how they are connected to Baba. So yesterday when Janice asked me to like give a session on this, I was like the first thing, man, like a person like me who is so young and like I just like wondering what should I say. Then Janice was just explore your connection with Baba. So that was the first thing I identified, that everyone's connection with Baba is so unique. It is more unique than the fingerprints we have. We don't even know how Baba can land up in someone's heart. It can be through internet, air, breath. Like we have to keep so much aware. We have to be so much aware about our own five senses that we won't know ki how can Baba communicate with us. Okay, sometimes I hear something which is completely irrelevant with Baba and I try to connect to him. Sometimes I smell something, I smell some flower in my neighborhood and it reminds me instantly of Ahmednagar and I'm connected to Baba. Sometimes I uh, see some picture or see some scene in a movie or anime or any kind of place and I'm just reminded of him. So that was what I always think, which is beautiful, that Baba has its own ways to communicate with people, and we cannot fathom whatever he has or whatever he's going to do. uh, there is a little bit of incidents which I will be sharing with all of you afterwards. So yeah, so this is my family. I was born into a Baba lover family. So my mother was a Baba lover from her side, and my father became a Baba lover. इनका story भी बहुत exciting है, like how my father became a Baba lover. And हम बचपन से ही बाबा को देख के ऐसे लाइक बड़े हुए हैं, मैं मेरी दीदी. So it was quite easy for us to take Baba as a god, and like we didn't had to मेहनत ज्यादा हमको करनी नहीं लगी क्योंकि let me just say where my family. So my family was not that well off to do. Okay, so my mother and father initially struggled a lot, and now at a place where we are, where we have a roof over our head and good amount of like food to eat, stomach like पेट पानी पूरा भरा रहता है. So there was a time which things were not like this. Okay, there was a lot of struggle in my mother's and father's life, but eventually Baba blessed with everything, and Baba helped us all along the way. So this is so. Okay. So this was what my childhood was mostly. My childhood, as per okay, so my mother always says कि you मैंने तेरे को तेरे जन्म से पहले से बाबा lover बनाया. So I was like कि how do you say that? So my mother used to say कि when you're in my like womb, you were of 3 months and I took you to Baba's Samadhi for darshan. And it was a very hectic journey, but still I and your father went there. So that was something. And after I was born, I went to a village called as Umarkhed. And but in that Umarkhed, there were 10 to 12 families, and in every Diwali, I used to in Baba's kitchen. So Meher Leela kitchen. So Baba, as in its entirety, he was very like I grew up seeing Baba a lot. Okay, so that's what the seed of what Baba is, and it was sown into me. But that was just a seed. That seed didn't like. Before this session, I and my mother actually sat down and had a discussion. Ki, like, बताओ क्या मैं like what do I have to say? So mom, so I and mother like did a rhetoric review of my entire life and connection with Baba. So I think that a seedling was planted in me when my mother and everything we used to go to Baba and we used to see things. When I was in Umar Kid, there was a very small center tasks like जहाँ first chappals like take one chappal, find its pair and keep it like aligned. Work is big or small, you have to just commit and do seva of Baba. So I was very fortunate enough to get a chance to do his seva since my early childhood. And I think that it is I was very fortunate to do that. Uh, so as life progressed, we shifted to another city, Yavatmal, which is the hometown which I am currently now. But something happened when we were shifted from Umarke to Yavatmal. The exposure and the touch I was with Baba, it like started decreasing thoda. So the seed was there, but sunlight and वो nourishment जो बोलते हैं ना, I don't think कि वो उतना बड़ा Baba center या मुझे बाकी का कुछ नहीं था. Like I didn't have any trouble accepting Baba as my God. Like I knew कि जो भी है बाबा ही है और कुछ नहीं है ऐसे करके. So ये मेरा approach था. But like I never really ऐसे had a connection, ऐसे एकदम personal connection with Baba. Okay. So in my 10th, a lot of things happened, and after I passed my 10th from my city, I moved to Hyderabad. So here where my real story of how that seedling started to grow started. So what I think was so first thing which I want to really clear is that Baba ka utna knowledge. What I do like to do is I like to hear people I really want to read them one day. I really want to sit down and read his literature because it is like the accumulation of everything which exists. That is what I think. But I have learned and I have experienced many things through people I meet. Okay, like through like even if in this meeting there are many people like my mother, father, my grandmother, grandfather, Janice Didi, Rakesh Bhaiya, Sam uncle, Mehernoz Bhaiya, Nalini auntie. Uh, there are many people. So just people just come and I see it as a movie and they teach me a lot. They teach me about Baba a lot. I hear so many things and I'm really fortunate for that. So I will just like rather than going sequentially, I will just rather skip to the part where I went to Hyderabad. So Hyderabad is not that good a place for student life. Okay, it is just like a jail where you are paying to go to a jail and you are studying. So I wasn't able to visit my family 2 to 3 months. In 2 to 3 months, in 2 to 3 months, I used to come once. Even even in week, I didn't have access to any kind of digital technology, like no TV, nothing like that. So it was more like a pure kind of boys' hostel where you were cut off from the world. So that time I was like when I was getting accustomed to like all that, like I never stayed like this in my life. Like hostel life was my first time when I was away from home, so I was suffering a lot. So that time I just used to say, ask Baba ki why are you doing this with me? Like I don't like jaise ki like I take the prayer of repentance very seriously. Okay, so I try to minimize my behavior so I have to repent less. But why are you doing this to me? My every friend is here or there and they are enjoying this much. So initially 2 3 days that was my approach, and after 3 4 days, I suddenly faced the reality that the students here are really intelligent than me. I struggled to solve a problem for 3 hours, and that guy just comes in and solves the answers in 30 seconds. So I was like, why am I so dumb? So I used to question my competency a lot, but there was one thing which I always used to do is I always used to keep Baba's photo near a window, and I used to pray him daily, and I used to talk with him thoda thoda. Okay, I didn't used to get answers. Just like Xerxes Bhaiya said. Okay, I didn't used to get a lot of answers, and I wasn't able to understand what is happening and what is going on. So that time, what I did was after I passed my 11th standard, I went on a solo trip to Mehrabad. And during that trip, the connection which I lost in those 5 to 6 years of my from 4th to 10th standard, I think that was re-established. When I suddenly went to Samadhi, I started meditating. And every day, actually, in my hostel, I used to sit for 10 minutes and 5 to 10 minutes, and I used to meditate on Baba's photo. I used to try to imagine those words of Tar Meher Baba, or I used to try to imagine Baba's photo. And it was really calming for me. It was something which just gave me a hint ki, yeah, you're not alone. Just go through with this and let the life unfold. Like, don't think too much about it. And just do the work sincerely and honestly. Somehow you will end up good. So that is what I got there. But suddenly when I went outside once, so you see, Baba has his own ways of doing things. Okay, so first time when I realized कि बाबा जो है वो मेरी बात सुनते हैं, it was due to this incident. So हैदराबाद में in Hyderabad there are two centers of Baba. One is Koti Center and one center is in Cyberabad. Okay. So what happens is that I go to Koti Center. I have to board my bus from the Koti Center. So I meet Mr. Hanumant Rao, who is the Koti Center in charge, and I just leave from there, and I have to now board my bus. In between, I bought some books. Okay, so I just took my wallet and I just like pay the money, and I think so. I kept it on one of the books, and I went ahead. And by the time I was boarded, I was trying to board in my bus. I was so hungry that I went to a hotel to eat something, and I just realized that I don't have any money, and I was so hungry that the bill was 600, 700 rupees, and I didn't have any money, and I was so worried. Ki, what am I going to do now? I don't even speak their language. I don't even know. I don't even understand ki, what should I do next. So somehow I gathered the strength. I told him ki bhaiya dekho aise aise hua hai. And I just kept my bag and I just went toward Baba's center, and I was like, what? I just came for your darshan, and due to that darshan, rather than going directly on bus stop, I I came to you. Okay, and why is this happening with me? So anytime I get panicked, or anytime I think is something bad is going to happen, I start to call him very rapidly. Baba, please aise hone mat dena. Don't, please don't. Like I'm just like, Baba, please don't. Okay, please don't. I know it is your will in the end which is going to be carried, but please don't. I request him or insist him to please don't if something doesn't go my way. But in the end, his will is only thing which matters. So I get there, I get my wallet. The wallet is like at the same place where I left it. Okay, and now please try to understand that that wallet was in the middle of the market. Okay, like if you could normally there, आपको वहाँ पे पैर रखने का जगह नहीं मिलता. Okay, so that was the first time I experienced Baba. Then I went to Mehrabad once, and there were there was a couple. I don't know his name. I think his name is Mr. Mathur, but people used to call him Professor. Okay, so we once went to their home, and he gave a very little nice story where there was a guy. He used to test Baba. Okay, and how he used to test Baba is by giving him small tasks. uh, so he conducted like 100 or 300 n number of experiments with Baba, and each every experiment was successful. So I thought that this is something which is really cool. This is something to which Baba and I can talk. Uh, though, like in the story, the experiments were so little. He was in Baba's program, and he said, "Ki Baba, I want 2 laddus. Do anything which you want, but give me 2 laddus." Okay, automatically everyone started getting 2 laddus. So that was the scale of experiments. Somewhere too tiny like this, and somewhere too large. But he told that in those 100 experiments, which were some honest experiments, Baba never failed me, and I was able to talk with Baba. So that was that guy's story. So I found it really inspirational. So I tried to mimic those experiments. I tried to mimic that thing into my life. I think it is very stupid of me to try to test Baba, like what am I? But still, I think that was very beautiful. I have been doing it not consciously but subconsciously sometimes. I'm going to tell that how. And I think so. A little time before, Xerxes Bhaiya shared his experience on how he went into samadhi and suddenly the pain in his right knee disappeared. At that point, I remembered this story. So there were once I was in my hostel. I'm not at all a kid who goes out and plays. Okay, I cannot sing, I cannot dance, I cannot do many things. So I really wasn't able to like I go to samadhi, I see people sing, dance, and do performing arts so much. But मुझे अपने अंदर हमेशा वो एक खालीपन लगता था कि मैं बाबा के लिए ऐसे कुछ कर नहीं सकता हूँ. जैसे मैं गाना नहीं गा सकता हूँ, या फिर ऐसे मैं कुछ डेडिकेट नहीं कर सकता हूँ. तो ये मेरे अंदर हमेशा था. सो टू कॉम्प्रोमाइज दैट आई यूज टू डू सेवा, लाइक कुछ भी कचरा दिखा उठा लिया ऐसे करके. सो बट वो होता है ना कि एक चीज बाकी रह गई, तो वो हमें मेरे अंदर हमेशा रहता था. So that time after I did a duty, okay, to samadhi in my 11th standard only, I got Baba ka Dhuni ka ashes, and I go at my hostel and I started playing kabaddi just for the sake of going out, and I injured my right knee so bad that for one day I wasn't even able to like I wasn't even able to move that leg entirely. I was crying so bad. And just imagine a guy 1,000 kilometers away from home in a dark room. Uh, I'm in the middle of people. Like in that hostel, I was the only person who came from my city, not from my school, but from my entire city. and I didn't have that kind of bond with many people right there. So I was feeling really alone that time. But that time I just took Baba's dhuni. I made it in a paste and I just applied it on my writing. I till this date I don't even know that why did I do it. I think so it was due to a story which my mother told कि बाबा का जो धुनी होता है वो पीने से ऐसे diseases से control में रहते हैं. So I think that was somewhere subconsciously in my mind and I did it. But जैसे ही but on second day when I woke up after applying that paste, entire pain was gone, the swelling was gone, everything was gone. So that time I was very wondering and thankful to Baba that thank you for being a great healer even in my physical pain and my mental pain. So that was something which happened in Hyderabad, and in Hyderabad then there are many incidents because I was really away from home. So Baba was something which I could easily rely upon. So that was my Hyderabad part of story. So uh, then I come to Mumbai, and here is where the seed starts to burst open and like explode. ऐसे growth बहुत fast हो गया ऐसे करके. So I don't know if many of you have visited D hostel का kitchen, but if you go to D hostel ka kitchen or somewhere, I don't exactly remember where I saw this picture. I think I saw it in D hostel ka kitchen. So there is this photo where I will just switch on my video for a little time. So there is this photo, ऐसा photo है बाबा का. So Baba is in this corner and he has many strings attached. Okay, and in the end of those strings there are many things which are happening. Okay, somewhere a war is breaking out and people are dying, somewhere a girl is dancing in the night bar, somewhere a family is really happy, somewhere someone else is dancing and is really happy, and all those strings are interconnected. Okay, and Baba is there controlling all the strings, and there was a very beautiful thought written. I don't think this is accurate what I'm saying, like what was exactly written on that picture, but the thing which was written was ki how he plays his games no one knows. Okay, and I think so I saw just this thing in Baba ka thing only. He addresses not only the good things in everyone, he addresses more on bad things. Okay, like सब अच्छा अच्छा होना, like I think this is a very unique thing in each and every Baba lover that हमारे ऊपर कुछ अच्छी चीज भी आती है ना तो भी हम बाबा के नाम से लेते हैं, बुरी चीज आती है तो भी हम बाबा के नाम से लेते हैं. Okay, so like this is a very weird tendency in Baba lovers which I don't found in many other people कि we have a tendency कि बुरी चीजें भी आई तो भी हाँ जय बाबा बोल के आगे निकल जाएंगे, अच्छी भी चीजें आई तो भी जय बाबा बोल के आगे निकल जाएंगे, क्योंकि दोनों चीजें हम एज अ प्रसाद ही लेते हैं. So that was something which was really, so yeah, so basically those strings and वो बाबा का कैसे गेम चलता है वो एक चीज था. So I land up in Mumbai and eventually for committing my engineering. Before that landing of my engineering, I went into defense. I cracked the UPSC, everything. But due to my spectacle, I wasn't able to do that. So in 2 days, I prepared for the exam and got a college in Mumbai and shifted to Mumbai. So as soon as I was shifted to Mumbai, I just heard it from somewhere that Bombay Center जो है वो बहुत अच्छा है. Okay, and somewhere at some point at a time in my second semester, I still remember I called Sam uncle out of the blue and I just said कि जय बाबा ये मुंबई सेंटर से बात कर रहे हैं क्या? And Sam uncle told me कि yeah you can come this time. And I still remember कि when first time when I came here, I was like asked by Sam uncle to share few things about Baba. So I don't remember what I said, but it was really beautiful. And I started meeting Sam uncle and many other folks at Meher Baba Bombay Center. And after that, my real journey with Baba began. So I had an opportunity to participate in many activities with related to Baba. So first thing which was that I was into Sahwas, like Meher Baba young adult Sahwas. So that was, I think so, that was the booster package. If someone of like I think so, I should really recommend you that if you have some daughter or a granddaughter who is below the age of 35, uh, you should really recommend them to come to Savas, because one thing which I always missed was seeing people of my age connecting to Baba, and Savas did exactly that thing for me. So as you can see, we had a lot of fun in Savas, but there were very deep things which I like. I have so many, like I have hundreds of anecdotes of how Baba changed me or how Baba talked to me. And when I will be talking with someone, I that at that point of time only I get to remember those stuff. So here is how I got to do his seva a little more. I used to help in presentations and preparations. I used to clean Mehrabad, and these are some of the great friends and great people I met there. And I made many friends at in the Savas, and those are some bonds which are really what can I say, uh, cherish the most. So when I was in Savas, uh, there were many little incidents which I would like to share with you. Like thoda sa cheeze. So first thing, how I lined up into Savas is because of my didi. My didi was an ex-Savasi, so she went to Savas in the previous batch, and she was just like, "Kaustub, just go and do Savas." I was like, कि पहली बार मेरे को 2-3 साल बाद घर पे रहने का अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला है, और तुम बोल रहे हो कि यहाँ जाने का अभी 8-9 दिन के लिए. I think so. I was thinking something of an internship, but my didi was like कि तू जा, तू टेंशन मत ले, तू बस जा, okay. And Ahmednagar for me is like a second home. Okay, so we as a family, अगर हमको ऐसे selection मिलता है कि we spend 4 days in some mountain trip, like ऐसे 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 4 days to a hill station or 4 days in Ahmednagar. So we would always go to Ahmednagar. So my every vacation, every big vacation was in Ahmednagar only. And till this date also, if you ask me, Kaustub, where you want to go, Goa or Ahmednagar, I will say Ahmednagar. Okay. Yeah, so I was basically like मैं वैसे पला बड़ा ऐसे कि मेरे को वो चीज एकदम ऐसे घर जैसी लगती है. Ahmednagar is like a home for me, where I can just stay and just analyze whatever is going on in my life and deepen my bond with Baba at a much more like smaller level. Yeah. So coming back to the photo, कि Baba was ऐसे controlling people, situations, wars and everything the with the what can I say, with Baba, like ऐसे was controlling everything with strings. So first thing which I really want to like, first thing which I observed was, yes, we do need to open out our hearts to Baba for Baba to enter, but it is equally important to open up our eyes and ears as well. And now let me tell you that. Okay. So another thing is what ki I always try to, like, I'm an engineer, okay, computer science engineer. So I always trying to put up logic कि हाँ ऐसा हुआ इसलिए बाबा ने ऐसा किया, और ऐसा किया इसलिए बाबा ने फिर ऐसा किया होगा, ऐसे करके. So I always try to make logic. I would always try to get some kind of reason into whatever stories I heard about Baba. Okay, but I don't know what was the story. I was in Mehrazad in Savas, एंड वो यू सी कि ऐसे जो बाबा का हॉल है, सो जो बाबा का अपना जो मेहराजाद, हम ऐसे अंदर जाते हैं, ऐसे बाबा का हॉल है, यहाँ पे बाबा का सीट है. सो इधर सब लोग बैठते हैं, एंड ऑन दिस वॉल ओनली जहाँ वो सीट है, देयर इज अ स्मॉल विंडो, एंड हियर इज द ब्लू बस का पूरा पार्ट. सो देयर इज अ विंडो हियर, एंड आई वाज इन दैट विंडो थिंकिंग कि what are you going to do next? Okay, what do you want to achieve, or like what do you expect from me? I was asking these things with Baba. Okay, and suddenly someone started telling a story ki how beautiful Baba handled that. I was even handle this. So I was thinking ऐसे, like I was my वो खिड़की के अंदर ही वो नीचे मैं ऐसे देख रहा था ऐसे, and I was like कि बाबा ये ऐसे क्यों किया तुमने, ये तो गलत है ना, ये ऐसे बोलोगे तो फिर कैसे, like मैं बस ऐसे आर्ग्यू कर रहा था अपने मन में कि बाबा ये तो चीज गलत है ना, ऐसे क्यों कर रहे हो. ठीक है, ऐसे आपने क्यों किया था वो टाइम पे, ऐसे क्यों किया? सो जस्ट मेरा ऐसा फेस नीचे था, मैं फेस ऐसा ऊपर करता हूँ, एंड द फर्स्ट थिंग इज व्हाट कि ऐसे पूरा वो एक था और ऐसे सर्कल, एक सर्कुलर डिश है वहां पे, and there was something so beautiful written there. So I was basically trying to reason him कि why ऐसा, why logic, ऐसे logically क्यों काम नहीं करते हो? I was trying to understand him. And the thing which I just saw up and I saw there was, don't try to understand me, just love me. So it was like so instantaneous and so out of point that for a second there I was freaked out. Okay, and I had this many kinds of experiences in that 2018 Savas. As you know, people called Baba the big ego crusher. Okay, so जो फाइनल प्रोग्राम होने वाला था उसके अंदर मुझे भी ऐसे ड्रामा का छोटा सा ऐसे पार्ट करना था, बट some due to some organizational problems I was like कि नहीं नहीं, I was told कि नहीं तुम अब नहीं कर सकते. So I was very furious inside. I had this very much ego वाला thing going on कि मेरे को क्यों नहीं बोला, ऐसे हमारे को ऐसे. So there was many things, but eventually Baba gave me so many experiences, and there was this bhaiya who just told, we were just talking and simply he started talking about me, and he was basically career guide. He told me कि, and we talked for 20 minutes, and somehow in the end of 20 minutes he made me realize कि Kaustub, you are not that this egoistic person. Okay, you are going to do a lot of mistakes in your life. What you are originally is a humble person, so be that, bear with people, and you try to relate everything with Baba. You will, like, if you have one question a day to Baba in the morning, if you ask one question a day to Baba in the morning, the day itself will become the answer. So that was
Wow.
something which I like imagine a Sam uncle, kitna simple sa cheez hai. You ask question to Baba
In the
and
beginning
the
of the
day
day.
will unfold the answer. Okay, so that was
Something so
something.
beautiful, Kaustub.
हाँ, बहुत बढ़िया है ये, बहुत ऐसे देखो, आई डोंट रीड बुक्स अ लॉट, बट ये ऐसी छोटी छोटी चीजें ऐसी जमा रहती है मेरे पास. एंड second thing which I really want to, like, so this is something very close to my heart. Okay, so I won't share ki what happens in the end of Savas. That is something very unique. uh, I think so many people should go and experience themselves. But at a point of time, I just asked Baba, he, okay, everything is good. Okay, I was like, a song was going on, a very emotional song, Kabhi To Chhatega. So basically, Sawal was ending and we were going back to our homes. And in 7 days, we were so close to Baba. 24 घंटा बाबा बाबा चल रहा था, तो एकदम अंदर का वो फ्लश आउट हो जाता है ना फालतू चीजें. So I was like कि okay, अब सब हो गया है. What do you want me to do now? What is next? What's next? ऐसे मेरा हमेशा क्वेश्चन रहा था बाबा को. बट और वो मोमेंट में ना एक बहुत वियर्ड क्वेश्चन मेरे मन में आया. ओके, आई थिंक सो इट वाज माय नो, बिकॉज आई वाज सो नाइव एट दैट पॉइंट. इसलिए मेरे दिमाग में क्वेश्चन ये था कि ठीक है, आपको मान तो लिया मैंने, ठीक है, बट आपको मैंने मान लिया, बट आप भगवान हो ये मैं कैसे मानूं? लाइक आप समझ रहे हो क्या मैं क्या पूछना चाह रहा हूँ? आप हो ये मेरे को पता है, बट आप भगवान हो ये मैं कैसे मानूं? ओके, एंड आई वाज डूइंग एवरीथिंग with my eyes closed, and suddenly a burst of emotions came out. And so this was after I stayed 1.5 years in Mumbai. Okay, and जैसे कि मैंने आपको बोला था कि हैदराबाद में मैं ऐसे आई यूज्ड टू डू 5-5 मिनट का मेडिटेशन. सो और वो मेडिटेशन में मुझे कभी कुछ फील नहीं हुआ. मैं बस बाबा को इमेजिन करो बस. Suddenly I got this white, just एक singular point पे I saw this white dot and I thought कि I'm nothing. Okay, like कुछ है ही नहीं था. Okay, and I started crying out. I was, and suddenly I think so that was the point जब वो seed फूट के ऐसे कुछ चालू होना, like ग्रोइंग होना चालू हुआ. ओके, and from a point, and this was in just fraction of seconds. Okay, actually it was fraction of seconds se bhi chota time. So from that point when I was questioning his existence, I went instantly to a point where I was asking him that why are you leaving me?
Mm.
Okay, why are you leaving me? Am I so bad ki this savas is ending? Why do you want to, why are you pushing me away? And if you are pushing me away, then why are you not giving me any reason to just go out of. I basically मैं ऐसे पॉइंट से कि जब मैं बाबा के एग्जिस्टेंस को क्वेश्चन कर रहा था, मैं इस पॉइंट पे आ गया था कि मुझे तुमको छोड़ना ही नहीं है, कुछ भी हो जाए. और अगर मेरे को छोड़ रहे हो तो मेरे को रीजन के साथ छोड़ो, या फिर नहीं तो मैं नहीं जाने वाला यहाँ से. I was crying a lot. Okay, basically I am a guy who never cries. Okay, either of my friend has never seen me crying. Okay, people who have been friends with me for like 8-9 years haven't seen me crying. So ऐसे रोंदू था, रोंदू बच्चा मैं पहले था जब मैं छोटा था, but जैसे I grew up, I was not crying. I used to hate crying basically. Okay, so but I was crying so bad. Okay, and वो ना मेरे अंदर भी फिर वो ऐसी चीजें आ गई, अरे मैं रो रहा हूँ, बाकी के लोग मुझे देख रहे हैं, मैं क्या करूँ, ऐसे हो रहा था. और जब भी मैं ऐसी डाइवर्जेंट, लाइक वेन एवर आई माई थिंकिंग इन दैट, वो जो 5-10 मिनट थे, उन 5-10 मिनट में जैसा ही मेरी थिंकिंग बाबा से दूर जाने लग गया ना, वैसे ही वो मेरे अंदर का क्राइम बढ़ रहा था. ओके, एंड आई वाज लाइक कि बाबा तुम्हारा एग्जिस्टेंस है, लाइक यू आर मेकिंग मी फील सच अ थिंग, बट मैं अभी भी श्योर नहीं हूँ कि तुम्हारा एग्जिस्टेंस है क्या मेरी जिंदगी में. सो जैसे ही मैं उठा और फिर हमें बोलते जाओ समाधि में जाके दर्शन दो, आई वाज जस्ट क्राइंग सो बैडली एंड आई वाज गोइंग टुवर्ड समाधि एंड आई वाज जस्ट लाइक दिस. ओके, कि आई वाज समाधि के सामने मैं ऐसा ही खड़ा हूँ कि हाउ डू आई नो दैट यू एग्जिस्ट. ओके, and even if I don't understand ki you need to exist, I just need, like, I need flowers. ऐसा हो गया. It was something like I don't need to understand anything. I just need flowers. I will put flowers on samadhi and I will just be done with it. ऐसा था. And the moment I said in my mind कि I don't even have flowers to offer you at this point. What should I do? And at the moment when I said कि I don't have flowers, suddenly I had flowers in my hand. I don't even know who gave it to me. I had a complete हार बड़ा वाला ऐसा. In those 3 minutes, whatever I was asking to Baba, it all came into reality. I was asking, when I was crying in the shed, I was like, Baba, I need to take your darshan right now. So we were told कि जाओ दर्शन लेके आओ. दर्शन करने जा रहे थे तो आई वाज लाइक कि बाबा आई डोंट नो, मुझे अभी के अभी दर्शन लेना है, मुझे लाइन में खड़े नहीं रहना है. सो आई जस्ट वेंट देयर और मेरा बस आई वेंट देयर और मैं सेकंड नंबर पे था. इन थर्ड वे आई वाज लाइक कि बाबा मेरे को हार चाहिए, मेरे हाथ में हार आ गया था. सो एवरीथिंग वाज गेटिंग फुलफिल्ड इन लाइक 2 to 3 seconds. ओके, कुछ डिले नहीं था. सो मुझे लिटरली ऐसे लग रहा था कि कोई इंसान मेरी आवाज पे और मेरी मुंह की आवाज पे नहीं था ये सब. हाँ, ये मेरे मन की आवाज में था. मेरी मन की आवाज में कोई इंसान कान रखे है और जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ वो फटाक से हो रहा है. लाइक इट वाज लिटरली कि एक इंसान ये सब कर रहा है. सो वो जो एग्जिस्टेंस वाला चीज था ना, वो मेरे लाइफ में उसके बाद कभी नहीं आया. ओके, सो दैट वाज वन ऑफ अ, लाइक ऐसे डब्बे में डाल के शेकिंग वाला मोमेंट फॉर मी एज अ बाबा लवर. After that, my perspective on life changed a lot. Okay, whenever I get emotions like ego ये सब ego attitude वाली ये सब चीजें होती है, तो like ये सब मेरा बढ़ता है और फिर मैं सहवास जाता हूँ, ये सब चीजें क्लियर आउट हो जाती है. फिर से मैं ये सब बढ़ता है, फिर से मैं like I try to minimize कि ऐसी चीजें मेरे साथ हो ना, बट वो ना अब वो हो ही जाता है. वैसे थोड़ा थोड़ा ऐसे बढ़ ही जाता है, ईगो एटीट्यूड कैसे अपनी चीजें बढ़ जाती है. सो व्हेन आई गो टू सहवास, ये सब चीजें ना स्टॉप हो जाती है थोड़े टाइम के लिए. फिर समझता है कि हाँ, इसके बाहर भी एक दुनिया है जो बाबा के साथ, एंड इट इज रियली ब्यूटीफुल वर्ल्ड which we all have to explore with Baba. So वो एक चीज था, लाइक बाबा ने बहुत क्रश किया, ये क्रश किया, वो क्रश किया, बहुत मजा आया था तब. I have many incidents. Okay, I have many such small incidences with me. I will just share 2 3 more. I think I have. Do I have the time or should I?
5 minutes more, just barely 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
शॉर्ट में
So
बता दे फटाफट.
okay. So okay. So second part was ki drama wala part. Okay. So I went. I met Mehernoz Bhaiya. He is like a mentor to me. Okay. He's a great person. I respect him a lot. And I really love every like I even if I was in Mumbai, away from my own family, I got a family in Meher Baba Bombay Center Group. Okay, Sam is a part of that family. Rakesh Shankar is part of that family. Janice is a part of that family. Mehnoz Bhaiya is part of that family. And even though like I used to see Mehnoz Bhaiya shouting at me so well, but it was like मैंने कभी दिल मैंने like सबसे ज्यादा गाली मेरी जिंदगी में मेहनोज भैया से ही खाई है. उससे ज्यादा मुझे नहीं लगता मैंने किसी से खाई है. But one thing which I really want to convey to all of you is yes, we know a lot about Baba. But what Bombay Center has done is that they have scripted it in an audio-visual way, and we as a humans tend to get more information out of audio-visual context. Okay, so I met Nalini auntie, and I और एक मुझे चीजें था कि मैं ना अभी खुद को इतना बड़ा समझने लग गया था कि मैं नलिनी आंटी की राइटिंग को क्वेश्चन कर रहा हूँ. ऐसे मेरे मन में था. ओके, मैं कभी भूला नहीं. बट एक चीज नलिनी आंटी ने मुझे स्क्रिप्ट दी थी. सो आई वाज लाइक कि नलिनी आंटी इधर आपने बोला कि ये जो चेयर्स थी ये बाबा को चाहिए थी और वो इंसान ने दे दी. वो इंसान का तो कोई रिलेशन नहीं, कुछ तो कन्वर्सेशन हुआ होगा ना. ये गैप है, ये ऐसे कैसे कर रहे हैं. बोले कौस्तुभ देखो, तुमको अपनी लाइफ में एक पॉइंट पे ये समझा कि जब बाबा का काम होता है तो जब वो होना होता है वही होता है. Okay, and to understand that, she gave me a copy of every episode of the Baba's drama. Okay, and I don't think I told you also this, Sam uncle, कि जब मैं एकदम छोटा था ना 4-5 years का, that time I just एक बार मैंने फ्लैश भी याद है मेरे को कि मैंने बॉम्बे सेंटर का ड्रामा देखा था. Okay, और तब मुझे लगा था कि मुझको एक दिन ऐसा ड्रामा करना है. Okay, ऐसे इन लोगों के साथ ये ड्रामा करना है. ये मेरे मॉम के अंदर भी था. So when my mom heard कि I am going to be a part of a Bombay Center drama, she was so happy क्योंकि ऐसे हम बचपन से देखते आ रहे हैं और आज हम करने जा रहे हैं. ऐसा चीज था मेरे लिए वो. I learned a lot about what is the importance of taking Baba's name before starting anything and then just leaving it up to Baba. Okay, this is something which is really powerful. So even if I'm starting to code, okay, I code a lot these days. Okay, so even if I'm starting to code, I'm taking Baba's name. And जब भी कुछ बड़ा होने वाला है मेरे साथ, I start to take Baba's name, and I think that is something really beautiful. And what I was going to suggest you is कि people की, if you have the time, please buy the drama CDs from Bombay Center and sit through all the dramas. Okay, take one that entire go through dramas. It is like there are so many fantastic messages with Baba wants to communicate with us, and sometimes we just can't help but relate to those situations which are in the drama. I learned a lot from it. Whenever I'm down, I just randomly play one of the dramas and just go through it. Okay,
Sorry to interrupt, Kaustub, but nowadays you don't really have to come to the center and buy the CDs. Some of them have already been uploaded on the YouTube. So वहाँ से भी आप
yeah, you can do that also. There is Meher Baba SMS channel which Rakesh Bhaiya handles, I think so.
Right.
So you can you just see the dramas, क्योंकि जब आप देखोगे ना तो आपको समझेगा कि बाबा ने कितने सारे डिफरेंट अरीनाज में काम किया है. लाइक हमको ऐसे लगता है कि बाबा ने सिर्फ इसमें ही काम किया, सिर्फ स्पिरिचुअलिटी में ही काम किया है. बाबा ने बच्चों के ऊपर भी इतना अच्छा काम किया है, जो मेहर प्रेम बॉयज थे उनके ऊपर भी इतना अच्छा काम किया है. बाबा ने डिफरेंट एरियाज ऑफ सोसाइटी के ऊपर भी इतना काम किया. सो जस्ट आपको पता होना कि बाबा ने काम किया है इस चीज पे, ताकि जब आपकी जिंदगी में जरूरत हो आप उस चीज पे ज्यादा पढ़ पाओ. इसकी अवेयरनेस के लिए आई थिंक सो बाबा ग्रुप जो चीजें था बहुत हेल्पफुल. एंड with the last anecdote which I would like to conclude this session, इसकी how Baba का will is supreme. Okay, so मैंने आपको फोटोज दिखाए थे थोड़े टाइम पहले जब जहाँ आपने देखा कि मैं अमर तिथि गया था. सो दिस वाज 2019 का अमर तिथि. नाउ कमिंग टू 2020 का अमर तिथि. सो 2020 के अमर तिथि में आई wasn't able to go as a volunteer. Okay, some uncle would also remember कि I was not a volunteer. That's why I went on Baba Center like Bombay Center book stall and I tried to help you guys out थोड़ा थोड़ा.
Right. Yeah.
But there is a very interesting anecdote on how did I land up there. Okay, so we know कि it is pretty easy to get from Ahmednagar to Mumbai, but it is really hard to go from Mumbai to Ahmednagar. Okay, by public transport. Okay, it is really hard. And suddenly before like 2 days to 3 days वो list निकला जिसके अंदर even if you are not a volunteer you can apply for samadhi duty and if you are lucky you will get that samadhi duty. Okay, दीदी ने मेरा एप्लीकेशन दे दिया था तब तो मैंने अप्लाई कर दिया यही सोच के कि बाबा क्या ही बुलाएंगे अभी वॉलंटियर ही नहीं जा पाया तो इस साल अमर तो नहीं. सडनली मेरा एक दिन पहले नाम आ जाता है और अब मुझे जाना है. सब लोग जो बॉम्बे में थे बॉम्बे सेंटर का बस भी छूट चुका था. ओके आई एंड देयर वर मेनी ट्रबल्स व्हिच वर गोइंग ऑन. ठीक है, मैंने लिटरली 3 घंटे में सिर्फ मुंबई में घूमा ये ढूंढने के लिए कि मुझे कोई ट्रांसपोर्ट मिल रहा है क्या. मेरी हर ट्रेन 1.5 मिनट से छूट रही थी, 2 मिनट से छूट रही थी. मैं बोरीवली से 2 मिनट के वजह से लेट हुआ मुंबई सेंट्रल पहुंचने के लिए. मुंबई सेंट्रल में जैसे मैं पहुंचा मैं अहमदनगर की ट्रेन मैंने ऐसे सामने से जाते हुए देखी थी. ठीक है, मैं बस देख रहा था तो ऐसे वो जो एसी अच्छा वाला बस होता है वो ऐसे पहुंचा मेरे सामने निकल गई. सो एवरीथिंग वाज हैपनिंग कि बाबा डजंट वांट मी टू गो टू अहमदनगर. ऐसे I packed my bags. I left my home at 11. It was 3 o'clock and I wasn't able to get a single bus or board anything with respect to अमर तिथि जाने के लिए. फिर मुझे एक लाल कलर का लाल डब्बा होता है ना एसटी का, मैं उसमें जाके बैठ गया. रात दोपहर के 2 से लेके रात के 3 बजे तक मैं एसटी से मुंबई से अहमदनगर गया और मैंने बाबा को उतना तो मैंने बाबा को कभी पूछा नहीं होगा कि व्हाट इज दिस, आपका ही सेवा करने आ रहा हूँ, सभी करने आ रहा हूँ, इतना तकलीफ दे रहे हो मेरे को, कुछ तो होना चाहिए ना, आप इतना तकलीफ क्यों दे रहे हो. ठीक है, व्हाई आर यू डूइंग दिस टू मी. लाइक ये ऐसे तरीका थोड़ी होता है काम करने का एट दैट टाइम. ओके, सो इसको आप ऑब्जर्व कीजिए. मैं रात के 3:30 बजे अपने वो जो गेट है ना मेहराबाद का उधर उतरता हूँ और वहां से मैं यही सोच के जा रहा हूँ कि कितना पेंस्टेकिंगली मैं आया. इतना टाइम लगता नहीं है बॉम्बे जाने को. ठीक है, 5 घंटे का जर्नी मुझे करने में 13 घंटे लग गए, वो भी ऑन अ बस. मैं पहुंच रहा हूँ, मैं यही सोच के जा रहा हूँ. ठीक है, आई एम ऑन माई वे टू डी हॉस्टल. ओके, एंड मेरे सामने एक लेडी है. ओके, वो चल रही है. मेरे दिमाग में ये चल रहा है कि इतना लेट क्यों हुआ मेरे को आने को, ये टाइम है क्या आने का. और मेरे सामने एक लेडी चल रही है और वो ना साइड में चली गई झाड़ियों में. मैं तो डर गया 2 मिनट. ऐसे मैं सामने जाके देख रहा हूँ वो चल रही है, वो गिर गई पूरी. ओके, एंड बाय गॉड वो ऐसी जगह गिरी थी कोई उसको सुबह तक ढूंढ नहीं पाता. इट वॉज जस्ट बिकॉज कि मैं वहां पे उस टाइम पे उस मोमेंट पे था और मैंने उनको देखा और मैं उनको फॉलो कर रहा था, तब जाके वो मुझे दिखी कि वो गिरी और मैंने उनको लेके बाहर लेके रखा. ओके, सो द एंटायर पॉइंट वॉज कि of me being late, me missing all those buses, all those trains, everything was because Baba wanted me to help that person. Okay, so you never question how your journey or whatever, like you never question his will basically. Okay, because his will is supreme. Due to anything it is not going to change. Don't try to apply any logic. Okay, so you like don't question him. He's so like he is of course he is God, he is powerful, but ऐसे बोलना कि yes he is God, he is powerful and वो चीजें experience करना yes he is very powerful, it is something which is completely different, right? कि उस moment में just to get into that moment I like held her. Then anybody was not able to do anything, so I had to call an ambulance. Ambulance आने में time लग रहा था, तो just because I knew some people, मैंने कार बुलाया, दीदी को कार में डाला, वहां गया, हॉस्पिटल में उनका सब किया, देखभाल किया, और फिर मैं आया. तो उस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे मुझे रियलाइज हुआ कि एनीथिंग हैपेंस फॉर अ रीजन, एंड दैट रीजन इज डेवलप्ड बाय बाबा. सो जस्ट बिलीव इन बाबा, से जय बाबा, एंड गो ऑन विथ योर लाइफ. डोंट टेक बहुत चीजें एकदम सीरियसली. ओके, जस्ट talk with Baba. I struggle to this a lot. Mehernosh भैया, I have seen, Mehernosh भैया से कभी बात नहीं हुई मेरी इस पे, but I have seen Mehernosh भैया talking a lot to Baba. Okay, so talk a lot to Baba. Take a separate time, like 1 minute भी बात करो दिन में, but बात करो, अच्छा लगता है. Okay, so yeah, and try to go to Baba on a new year. Okay, I was suffering a job, or like मुझे job prospect नहीं मिल रहा था. मुझे मेरा MS का भी application आगे चल रहा गया. So I just went there, I touched Baba and I said कि बाबा कुछ भी करो, मेरे को कुछ भी मेहनत कराओ, मेरे को बस इंटर्नशिप चाहिए. ओके, ये मैंने 1 तारीख को बोला. 2 तारीख को मेरे पास 2 जॉब ऑफर्स थी. अब ये मुझे पता नहीं बाबा से हुआ क्या हुआ. So what I'm saying is कि believe in Baba, believe कि everything is his own laid out plan. Try to give service in his name in any way possible, and just keep your eyes and ears open along with your hearts, so that Baba can enter through. So I have many more stories, but
Thank you very
thank
much,
you
Kaustub.
for-
Sorry, yeah, we are running
Yeah,
out
yeah,
of
yeah,
time,
that's
so we'll have to cut you off.
yeah. Thank you,
But
Sam.
some other time, surely we can uh, get you to talk some more. Okay, very quickly, Xerxes, do you wanted to show us that box? Are you still there? And just
Yes,
quickly
I'm still
show us
there.
the box, please.
I'll quickly, yeah, 1 second. Sound.
Yeah.
Let me know once everyone can see.
This is the box.
Yeah.
But this
My
is the
mother
box,
calls
actually.
it magic box.
Mm.
I'll probably change it to Baba's magic box. But this is the box. And these are the chits inside. There are Baba photos all over. Obviously, I could capture only one part of it. But this is the box that I want to share.
Very nice. Very nice. Something I got to learn today. Thanks a lot, Xerxes. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Okay, Archana ji, if you are ready, can we do the Bujave now, please?
Sure.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. बुझावे ना जहिलतनी कर कुदरतने फरमातू छलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे मातू आया मोर शद मेहर बाबा चरण पर तू सधारिए सर खुदाना जात थी वाके फथई पे तो मेहर पातू तुझे माँ लेखा की कतनो तू आशिक भी ने आरिफ भी तुझे दरी याए वहीदत मारिफत नो होई तूफान तू हमोरहे राव ने ऐसा ले कबख्श जे क्या नहीं ज़दनु के तू खुदा ना प्रेम नो प्यालो पिलावी मस्त हमने कर छे तुझ पर ज्ञान सदके साकिया पी दे पयमा तू हमारी नाव भर दरिए तरावे तो हमें तरिए हमारा ना खुदाए मेहर बाबा छेने के पातू बुझावे नार जहेलतनी कर कुद रत्ने फरमातू लागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे मातू। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
जय बाबा।
जय बाबा।
Jai Baba, everybody.
Jai Baba.
It has been a beautiful session.
Jai Baba.
I would like to thank Janice from the bottom of my heart, because she probably doesn't know how much of an asset she has been in organizing this whole thing. Thank you very much, Janice. And I would also like to thank all of us participants who helped each other in focusing entirely on Meher Baba for during this session's duration. I don't think I thought of anything else but Meher Baba. And this is what Era Jasawala used to say, that this is the best form of meditation on Baba, where you sit down and talk about him. So thank you everybody once again. And just last parting message is, take Baba with you. Take Baba with you. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Amen, Baba ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Janice.
Cheers, cheers. Thank you, Wala. Arey Baba. Anybody wants to say anything? Say now or hold your peace forever.
Yeah, I would like to tell Kaustub that he's almost 3 decades younger to me, but I've learned a lot from listening to him today.
Jai
Beautiful
Baba.
Jai Baba.
Thank you.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Yes, yes. Baba has his own ways of teaching us. That is true. That is so very true.
Shall I end the meeting, Uncle?
अभी दुकान बंद कर दे, नहीं तो ये लोग जाएंगे नहीं यहाँ से.
Thank you, Baba, for everything.
Thank you, everybody, and goodbye until we meet again next Thursday. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba Sam. Jai Baba Sam.
Bye, everyone. Jai Baba.
Boom, आवाज, धमाल. चलो.
Jai Baba.
That is my mother, Sam uncle.
Oh.
Jai Baba.
Your mom. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
तेरी सिस्टर को सलाम बोलना हमारी.
हाँ हाँ पक्का.
हाँ.
Thank you, everyone. I will end the meeting. Thank you. Avatar,
Thank you.
Baba.
Meher
Jaldi
Baba.
कर. This is the 5th time you are saying ending, and you're not ending.
People are talking. I can't. Okay.
Hey, Meher Baba.
Next week, everyone. Jai Baba.
Nobody wants to leave. Nobody wants to leave. That's for sure.
I am ending it now. Bye bye.